Good morning. There are times in our lives when we decide to make go through a transformation, and because of a different situation. So I'll tell you a little story. On January 27th of this year, I made a conscious decision to do a 180 on certain things. And if you look at my videos from before, tell me if you can tell the difference. If you can't, I'm not there yet. It's a work in progress. But what I'm going to say today will be a declaration on a future manifestation of a state. And you know what? Everything that we do, I think it was a good friend, Lou Carrillo, who said, if you want to be a diamond, in other words, if you want to shine, you have to learn to control your mind. And I'll tell you about Lou at some point. But, there are times when things do happen in our lives that we must make a 180 turn. And that time is whenever we decide. And sometimes we are unable to decide for whatever reason. It's not the right time. It's not the right moment. It's not the right place. Who knows? But at the time that we make that decision, things begin to turn for the better and things begin to change. Many years ago, I remember my mother had to quit smoking. And it was a moment in her life when she said, you know what, it's that or my life. And that decision took her through some pain and difficulty. And the pain and difficulty was almost unsurmountable. She recounts how difficult it was to get out of that situation and to begin to do something new. Everything in life requires that moment of decision making and that moment of saying, you know what, I'm tired of where I am and I want to move forward to a new beginning. So January 27th, it was for me. A couple of things that I'm going to be revealing as I move forward here on this and many other platforms. But the transformation began many years ago, over 10 years ago. The thing is that decisions had to be made. I always ask a question about the frogs on the log, right? So how many frogs? If there are 3 frogs on a log and one decides to jump, how many frogs are left? I asked that question the other day. And the simplest answer is not obvious. But the bottom line is that you can make a decision to do something or you can do it. So I'm going to tell you another story before I close here. I was in the traffic school. By the way, I lost my sight many years ago, but I was in a traffic school class because of speeding. Jose speeding. Many years ago, I was a youngster. And I was in a traffic school class, 4 hours traffic school class.
Speech on. Mobile. Centered. Q. Decline. One face centered. Decline. Button. Decline. Tap. Face centered. Stop recording video. Take picture. Speech off.
And I was getting a call. In that traffic class, the officer tells me, all right, Jose, I'm going to put a pencil in front of you. Pick it up. Try to pick it up. And I picked it up. And he asked me a question. Did you try? And I said, yeah. He said, no, you didn't. You actually did it. You made a decision to do it. So today is the beginning. 2 days ago was the 2-month decision that I made of doing 2 major things, which I'm going to be discussing soon. So when do things begin to happen? Things begin to happen not when you decide, but when you take the action. The action is what makes things happen, not the decision. The decision is great. We make a lot of decisions about a lot of things. But the minute we step into the uncomfortable zone, step out of the box, and we decide to actually do something about our situation, then that's when things begin to happen.